Breaking news in this Sunday afternoon, five-time NBA champion, former league MVP Kobe Bryant died earlier this afternoon in Los Angeles in a helicopter crash. News reports are just coming in among multiple victims, Kobe Bryant on that helicopter. We're going to have Ramona Shelburne join us now from Los Angeles. She is on her way to the scene right now. Ramona, how did you first learn this information and how are you absorbing it right now?
Oh my God. I mean, I was outside playing with my son and I just saw an alert and everyone I called, you get quick voicemails and people close to him are in absolute shock right now. And I can't even process it. I live 10 minutes away from the scene, guys, and I can't even remember how to drive there. It's shocking that Kobe Bryant is gone.
Ramona, he was a father, a husband, an NBA legend, an Academy Award winner, an icon. He did it all in his 41 years. He became an Angelino, even though he wasn't born and raised there. 20 years with the Lakers will make you that. You grew up in the area. In any way, shape, or form here, can you help explain what Kobe meant, not just to the Lakers, but to the entire Southern California community?
Oh, man. I mean, when Kobe was about to retire, I covered him his whole career here in Los Angeles, and everybody was writing retirement stories, right? Everybody was writing, what he meant, putting his career in perspective, and because, he was drafted here as a teenager, right? I mean, I was in high school when he took Brandy to the prom. Okay, so we watched this kid grow up and become a man. He had his ups and downs. He had his he had his glories. You saw him go from boy to man to old man, right? And I remember saying to him, like, we gotta do a story at the end here. We gotta put this all into perspective. And he really wasn't interested at first because he said, everything has been written about me that could be written. I mean, everybody said everything negative, everything positive. What is there left to say? And I said, okay, so what is there left to say? And he said, the only thing I'm interested in is leaving a legacy of telling people how I did it, the parts of me that had to rise to the occasion, how I climbed to this level, how I became the man I am. And when people talk about, like, the Mamba mentality, that's not just about Kobe. Like, people in China know what that is. People in Japan know what that is. People in Africa know what that is. He became a legend. And in a lot of ways, he was writing that legendary story the whole time he was playing. And I think, one of the things that always struck me is Kobe always said, I wrote all my own commercials. I mean, he knew what he was. He knew he was a symbol. He knew he was a legend. He knew what he had to leave to the next generation. And we sat together to do one final story, and it was like a 4-hour interview, guys. And I pushed him on everything to the point where it was uncomfortable, right? And I kept thinking maybe he would get up from this interview, but he liked it. It was almost like we were playing one-on-one, because I think somebody who's lived a life like Kobe, they've thought about all of this, man. He was so self-aware. He was so aware of his own legendary status. And I think he knew that life isn't always perfect, right? That you have to dig down into the depths of your soul sometimes to get through things, to push through things. And even when I would ask him about Colorado, even when I would ask him about the relationship with his parents, he answered. He went there, and it was because he had gone there. And I think he knew that, he had lived a remarkable life, and other people aspire to that. But if you really want to have a life like that, you have to be willing to do all of it, to go through all of it. I can't process the idea that he's gone right now. I really can't. I mean, this guy, he seemed like a legend, right? But in a way, man, like it's a remarkable life that he led, right? I mean, he's 41, 42 at this point. Like, I can't imagine Los Angeles without him. He's like the mayor of Los Angeles, whatever you want to call it, and and nothing political, but almost like this spiritual mayor, right? And the city just feels different without him here.
Ramona, that's a good point. You touched on so many aspects of Kobe's life. Of course, you had the situation in Eagle, Colorado, didn't have the best relationship with his family, parents, on again, off again. But in so many ways, he represented Los Angeles in terms of an identity. Yeah, he was Hollywood, but he was also hardworking too. So he could kick it in Beverly Hills, but he could be down in Downey with the fellas as well. The loss that this city will feel with Kobe passing away on this afternoon, how would you sum that up?
I mean, honestly, I think the city's in shock right now. Everyone I've talked to is sending texts saying, like, please tell me this isn't true. Like, nobody can believe this. How could this just happen? And, I think he was on his way to the Mamba Academy in Thousand Oaks. I mean, talk about a guy who's focused, this is what his legend was. Like, he was going to train a new generation of kids, teach them how to be like him. He flies a helicopter because he always flew in a helicopter, guys. Like, he lived in Orange County, and instead of saying, I'm going to be in traffic every day going to Staples Center, he took a helicopter. That was part of Kobe, It was just, like, he did other legendary things as he was living. And, when I remember one of my favorite Kobe stories is he wanted to do something romantic for his wife, and he wanted to prove to her how much he loved her. They were in obviously a really tough time. It was after everything that happened in Colorado, and that he wanted to keep her and stay together. And so he decided he wanted to teach her. He wanted to teach himself how to play piano and play her a song. And I was like, why don't you just get someone to teach you to play piano? And he said, no, it meant more if I taught myself. So he put on Moonlight Sonata and just taught himself how to play that by ear so he could play it for his wife. I mean, who does that? People like Kobe.